Tonight, the Franklin Christian Academy Falcons have their homecoming game, and what better matchup to have than against one of the teams they've played for the longest time in their 8-man football history. A big matchup here at Jim Warren Park. The Freedom Cowboys at 3-3, 1-1 against Tennessee teams look to get to the positive winning record. It's the Kingdom.com Extreme Game of the Week, the Freedom Cowboys and the Franklin Christian Academy Falcons. And as we welcome you inside the broadcast scaffolding, I'm Spencer Thompson. Pleasure to have you once again for what's going to be a fantastic broadcast tonight. This is our third homecoming game that we've done on the year. And, of course, the first two homecoming games, the home teams stood tall. FCA participating in one of those. And I believe the rosters are going right now, but as saying, FCA participated in a homecoming game for Riverside Christian and did not put up any points, but that's besides the point. Of course, Daniel Holcomb out with a torn ACL. He's going to have surgery. He will not be able to play tonight. Several starters out for different reasons and such. For the Falcons, they're struggling right now. Of course, they still have playoff hopes alive, but it's going to be really tough for them. As for the Cowboys, they're independent, but with them being 1-1 against Tennessee teams, it's really interesting to see how they're going to perform against the Falcons, especially since the last few years FCA has had really close games, and even in that championship season in 2015, they took their one loss on the entire year, and that was to the Freedom Cowboys. Now, James, in terms of the Falcons, it's going to be really interesting to see how these guys play out. How do you assess this team going into homecoming, especially losing their man at the helm?
Well, you know what? It's going to be next man up, and Zach Dooley has played quarterback. He played some last year when Holcomb struggled with injuries, so he's going to – I think he will be the man. But you've got guys like Asa Sheets, Andrew Hasley, the Carpenter brothers. They're going to have to step up to another level. Patrick Sharn, Isaiah Kimbrough, they're going to have to step up in that place and fill that gap. That's what FCA has. They're at home, homecoming. This is a big opportunity to pick up a statement win for the Falcons.
Especially with them going against the Ezell Harding Eagles next week. But in terms of the Cowboys, they're at 3-3 right now, 1-1 against Tennessee teams. Of course, that one win coming against the Tennessee Heat and the loss to Riverside, who FCA lost to Riverside just a few weeks ago. So what's the big message for the Cowboys going against the Falcons?
Well, they picked up a big win against Banks Academy, which is a brand-new team out of Alabama. Tight win, 20-6. Guys like Jaden Hermina, who lead the team in rushing yards, 440, 9 touchdowns. He's going to have a big game. Jeremiah Seuss, Trenton Plank, couple more guys. They lead the team in tackles with 36. Guys like Given on the offensive line, rating at about a 70%. So these guys are some of the ones that are going to have to step up and bring it to the next level. They had a 3-game losing streak. Like I said, they won last night. They could get back on the winning track. They got a big game next week with Christian Community. And then they go back to Alabama for a week, and then they play Bowling Green. So they got a tough stretch coming up in front of them. This is a chance to pick up a big win. Not a bad travel, 2 hours maybe. So not a lot of travel, a good crowd traveled up for them. So this is a chance for Freedom to really make another statement win in Tennessee. They already lost once in Tennessee. They beat the Heat in Alabama. This is a chance for them to make a statement.
Speaking of a big win, not a lot of travel, just under 2 hours going down to Suwanee from Antioch. And, of course, make a statement win inside Tennessee. The Lighthouse Christian School Lions.
You're welcome.
The Lighthouse Christian School Lions played earlier against the St. Andrew Suwanee Mountain Lions. We have the scoring update
64-16 is the final. Of course, the game played at 4 o'clock with Suwanee's field situation. Massive win for Lighthouse. Just big to get in the win column. They've had some tight losses. Had a big loss last week to Ezell. And it's a great step forward for guys like Aiden Hooper, Christian Sharp, just some of the guys, some of the young core of the team who are going to be able to build around coming up for Suwanee. Still struggling with injuries, waiting on word whether or not Caleb McLean, who is obviously their best player, was able to play tonight. Cam Robinson. So we'll get some more updates. Of course, Extreme Radio on Sunday, 4 p.m. We'll have the complete breakdown of the game, but just a big win for the Lions to get in that win column. They've got a game against Bowling Green next week, very winnable ball game. It was a one-score game when they played before. They take a week off, and then a game against Christian Community. So if they can get some momentum next week, they can go to that CCS game with a big win. Suwanee, only 2 games left, the Heat and Franklin Classical. So 2 very winnable games for them as well. They just have to get on that track. You hate it for Suwanee. It's just one of those years, though.
We'll recap that more on Extreme Radio, but it's time for us to go down to the field in just a moment. It's FCA's homecoming. Falcons, Cowboys, next.